Hey there, and welcome. If you're a creator, you know the feeling, right? You're always on the hunt for that perfect tool to bring your most detailed designs to life. Well, today we're diving into a machine that promises to do exactly that, to finally close that gap between your imagination and something you can actually hold in your hands. Let's get into it.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the Creator's Challenge, the stuff that holds us all back. Then we'll introduce a pretty revolutionary solution. After that, we'll get into the details of the power and precision it unlocks. And finally, we'll look at why this is a real investment in your potential.
All right, first up, the Creator's Challenge. We're going to look at those all too common frustrations, the limitations that can feel like they're holding your best ideas hostage. Let me just ask you this straight up. Do you ever feel like your tools just can't keep up with your ideas? Like you're constantly being held back by those old school, traditional methods?
I bet a lot of us have faced these hurdles. You've got the crazy high costs if you try to outsource a project. The turnaround times can be painfully slow, and of course, the frustrating lack of versatility with standard tools. It's that constant battle to get those perfectly clean, detailed cuts or those super intricate engravings that really make a piece special. Like trying to hand carve a complex pattern on a small box. It takes hours, and one tiny slip can ruin the whole thing. It's a real headache.
So what's the answer to all that frustration? Well, that brings us right to our second section, a revolutionary solution. This is all about unlocking your vision and stepping into a whole new era of creative freedom.
Now, seriously, just take a second and picture it. A world where your most ambitious, your wildest creative ideas are no longer just stuck in your head. Imagine being able to carve intricate patterns into leather, etch incredibly detailed designs onto wood, or cut acrylic with absolutely flawless precision, and doing it all at a speed that seems almost impossible.
That world is totally possible, and this is what makes it happen. The VEVOR CO2 Laser Engraving Machine. Look, it's not just another tool, it's a complete game changer for your entire creative workflow.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of how it makes all that happen. In our third section, Power and Precision Unlocked, we're going to take a much closer look at the tools of transformation that will absolutely elevate your work.
Right at the heart of this machine is a super robust 50 to 60 watt CO2 laser. Now, this isn't just a part, it's the engine driving your creativity. CO2 lasers are pretty much the industry standard for materials like wood, leather, and acrylic. And that's because their specific wavelength gets absorbed perfectly, letting them vaporize the material super cleanly with minimal burning. It's just clean and precise.
So what does all that power actually mean for you and your projects? Well, it means you get the finesse for really delicate etching. Think putting a photorealistic portrait onto a piece of wood. You get the raw power for precise cutting, cleanly slicing right through thick acrylic for signs. And you get the incredible versatility to just jump between all these different materials without skipping a beat. It really gives you the confidence to take on any project, no matter how ambitious it seems. And you are not limited by space either. This machine has a really generous 40 by 60 centimeter engraving area. To put that in perspective for you, that is a huge canvas. It's bigger than a standard baking sheet. It's just ready for your biggest ideas. This big workspace just totally expands your creative horizons. You can finally tackle larger pieces like custom wall art without having to shrink down your design. Or you can use all that space to efficiently produce batches of smaller items. Just imagine making a whole set of personalized leather keychains in one single go. You're just not boxed in by a tiny workspace anymore.
But hey, power and size don't mean much without control, right? That's where this intuitive digital control panel comes in. It's a super user-friendly interface that gives you precise, fingertip control over everything. The power, the speed, the resolution. And when we talk about resolution, we mean the level of detail. Kind of like how a printer works. The higher the resolution, the finer and more photo-like your engravings will be.
And this slide, it really just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the old way. All the guesswork, the complicated setups, and the inconsistent quality. Then on the right, you have what the VEVOR Engraver brings to the table. Total fingertip control, simple operations, and professional, repeatable results every single time. Which brings us to our final section, an investment in potential. This is all about seeing the VEVOR as way more than just a machine. It's about how it can transform both your productivity and your passion.
And this is really the most crucial point. You're not just buying a piece of equipment. This is a direct investment in your own creative and even professional potential.
And trust me, that investment pays off big time. You'll boost your productivity like crazy. You can create unique, personalized products that people love. You can pretty much eliminate your reliance on expensive outsourcing. Think about it. This machine opens up so many new business avenues, letting you create professional-grade items right from your own space. You could start that Etsy shop you've been dreaming of, or offer personalized gifts, or even create architectural models. The possibilities are huge.
And that's what it all comes down to, right? The ultimate goal: to empower your passion, to finally give you the tool you need to transform your absolute best ideas into a tangible, beautiful reality.
So, after all that, there's really only one question left for you. With this kind of power and this kind of precision at your command, what will you create?